It's hard to see. I know it probably ain't the best picture, but if you look, so rod plate, you can see it here, trash, junk, whatever I could find. Already had marked the other holes. All right, so now my plate's got all my holes. Stock mount, it's got these two. Welcome back. So we're gonna start this off right here right now and let you know that I messed up. So we had the motor mount break off of the block on this New Year's. And the repair we did to it, which I'll show you here in a minute, but I thought it was a pretty slick way of doing it. I think it's pretty slick how we did it, and I filmed all of it. I don't know where that footage is. Couldn't even begin to tell you where that footage is. So for instance, like right there, battery, I started recording, it had 60% of battery. And that little bit of talking, it just died. I don't know. But what I was saying is, we filmed all of doing this motor mount, and I couldn't even begin to tell you where the footage went. I don't know. I didn't pull it off the GoPro probably, or off the SD card like I should have put it on the computer. It's my fault, my mistake. But hey, we learned from it, and we'll move on with it. But I still have this, wind's whipping through here. I still have the parts and pieces the way we did it, and I feel like I can explain pretty good how we did it. But so that's what I'm gonna try to do in this video. I'm sorry that it don't have the footage of it all apart and stuff, because like you can see here, I don't know, I might have to end up getting a light. Yeah, I might have to get a light. All right, we got a light and everything set up now, so maybe you can see it a little better. So let me see if I can come in from behind it here. It's hard to see. I know it probably ain't the best picture, but if you look, so your factory bolts are 1, 2, and I'm pretty sure 3. Well, it pulled the threads out of them, and we put the motor in. I was pretty sure the threads were compromised, and sure enough, it pulled them out. So I've already fixed it once. I went back and put studs in it. Should have Loctite them, didn't Loctite, da, 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 da. Anyways, New Year's, it broke it back out. So I said, all right, we'll fix this problem. We're gonna encapsulate as many holes as we can. But every time before, whenever I go to do that, it's like, how do I get this plate up here and know where to drill my holes, you know? Or how do I know where to drill my holes? Because it's hard to, like, I'll show you on this block what I'm trying to explain. Like, you know, you got like all these little holes here. Like this is like there's your factory, and then that hole ain't used, that hole ain't used, that hole ain't used. That one's stripped out, but on the other block it ain't. That one ain't used. So it's like, how do I know where these holes are in space? Like it ain't like it's hard to set a plate up. So what we did. All right, so I had to, I cut off the last clip and readjusted here so y'all can see a little better. You got the motor pulled out of the corner, and I'm trying this tripod deal here. I'm gonna set y'all up on the tree pod. You're sitting on a 5-gallon bucket and some shop towels and tripod and GoPro. Hopefully you don't fall over. If you do, I'll pick you up and we'll start over. So back what I was saying, what I was gonna say is, so obviously you got your 3 stock mount bolts. Well, when you put a plate up here, you know, I want a plate that's gonna, I hope y'all can see this good enough. I want a plate that's gonna cover all of these holes. If I put a plate up here, I didn't know where my bolt holes were gonna be. And it ain't like you can go buy a template or something. So what I did was pretty much I took some nuts, 1/2-inch nuts worked best for me that I found. They fit the bolt pretty snugly. I took some nuts, and if you look, these bolt holes, so you can look, this one, they're all on the same plane. They're all level. That one's inset, that one's inset, and that one's inset. So what I done is I took a bolt and bolted a nut here, here. I measured pretty much figured out where this surface was, and I put enough washers under all of these to get the back of the nuts all at on the same plane, pretty much. All right, so I got these. See, just kind of imagine I got these nuts bolted here, and then I took some little rod plate, and you can see it here, trash, junk, whatever I could find, and I tacked all the nuts together. All right, so I tack all the nuts together, get them all tacked together, I pull them off. So now I took this right here, and all I got to do is I set it on a piece of plate, and you can see here, I tacked a few of these real light tacks, just enough to not move, on that plate. And I went through there with a drill press, and then I can mark all the holes. Break this off out of the way. I didn't throw it away because if I ever got to do another one, I already got the template. But then you throw this to the side, draw your holes out. Then you can cut your plate however you want to. I'm gonna skip ahead here to kind of go back and then come back. Well, when we went to once we got the plate drilled and all that, and I went and set it on Jonathan's block, on that extra block, holes were different. So, you remember this is the one we had before, sitting up here like this right here. Well then, and this one's hard to tell. I mean, remember, on his block, if we look close enough, we can see. Yep. So his block's got 2 holes up there and an extra bolt hole here. So I used the common bolt holes, which were 1, 2, them, you know, were my commons. And then the bolt holes we didn't have, I added nuts to it. So then I can just set this one back on the plate, get it lined up, and I can just take bolts and bolt this template to our template with the holes we already had and mark the other holes. All right, so now my plate's got all my holes in it, every hole I need. Which what we did also on the holes that were already messed up, so they was only messed up, they wasn't messed up all the way to the back of the block. So we took it and we put studs in them, red Loctited them, and put studs in. That way they grab as much as they can grab. A little bit's better than nothing. And then all these other bolts, once we got it bolted to the block and we knew that's where it wanted to be, we pulled them out one by one, and they're all red Loctited. Sorry about that. Just ate a little belchy. But so then I knew, all right, I got this plate, but now I've got to figure out in space. They're going dark on me, it messes me up. I like being able to see what y'all see. But I had to figure out in space, where's my motor mount? Because, you know, well, stock mount, it's got these 2 hangs off here. Well, screw trying to measure all that. So what I done is I bolted motor mount where it's supposed to go. I took a piece of pipe and found something that fits the bolt perfectly, and then this pipe fit that perfectly. I couldn't weld to aluminum, is why I used the outer sleeve. Bolt this up there, run a bolt through that, took a piece of plate, set up there, and welded it. Now this is where the motor mount is in space. So then we put our plate back up here, bolted our plate on, and simply just built some tabs. Locked on there. That's I thought about doing this once or a couple times before, but I've never didn't know how I wanted to do it, or, you know, always played the game. Where's my bolt holes? Where's my bolt holes? Where can I find? How can I figure? And come up with that, and it worked great. I'm not gonna lie. There ain't no sense in lying to you. We ain't gotta lie to kick it with the cool kids, you know. But going from this template to this template, the holes were kind of off a little bit. So all I did was, you know, the bolt's like a 3/8 bolt. Any hole that was a little loose, I just took a 7/16 bit, knocked it out. It ain't gonna have that much wiggle room in it, and it'll work great. Oh, probably thinking, forgot about this. So you remember we had a flat plate, right? Well, if we put a flat plate up here, always gonna have gaps behind it. So I just measured all that, and I took nuts or made spacers, which we took nuts, 1/2-inch nuts, bolted them to the back of that plate, and then I welded them solid and took a piece of plate and locked these two together and just pretty much made spacers. If we'd had a lathe, I'd have cut some on a lathe and made some nicer spacers, but you can't see it, so it don't matter. It ain't like it's the end of the world. But yeah, I feel like it turned out pretty good. We haven't rode the Jeep since we've done it, but now, where before you got 3 bolt holes holding in, now we have, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7, 8, 9. So 8 or 9 holding it in. Sounds a lot better to me. I feel like that is gonna be way better. But I hope let me grab y'all here. This one talking. I hope I explained it good enough for you. You know, I hope the way I explained it in my head, y'all understand it. I wish I'd have still had the footage. I would post the footage in here, and we'd really be set up for success. But hey, God dang, JJ's barbecue is doing it to me tonight. But we ain't all perfect. We're gonna mess up. But yeah, she's looking. Old tar back there. It's on big dig. But everything else looks pretty good. Let me see if I can get y'all another shot of this. Another picture of that motor mount there. You can see I put a plate between it and all that, and it turned out pretty good. Let me get this hood popped real quick. You might be able to see something at the top. You need to put some WD on that thing. Hard to pull on. Can't work in these conditions. Y'all put that rod up for me. Y'all come on now. Appreciate that. Let's see if I can get y'all off in here. It's probably a little glary, but kind of see the concept. Yeah, turned out pretty good. That's good. The rest of the Jeep's good. Get some wind in this tire. And see if we come a lot here. See if we can. You can't see everything else. All the other Jeeps are hiding over there in the bushes. Old dump truck sitting out there in her glory. She needs to be parked in the weeds somewhere. Anybody need a fuel tank, fuel cell? Got plenty of them laying around out here too. Yeah. And then this. Get this pile sitting here. I need to get done with. I did get me some harnesses for Valentine's Day. So you know she loves you if she gets you harnesses for Valentine's Day, because that's safety. So she don't want you going nowhere. So I don't know. But that's pretty much it. I was hoping this video was gonna be a lot better than it is, but win some, you lose some, and I definitely lost this one. So if you liked it, hit that little thumb down there. Wow! If you didn't, still hit that thumb up. I mean, hey, nobody's perfect. But yeah, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, well, sorry. I hope I can please you with the next one. And hope y'all had a good Valentine's and a wonderful week. And I appreciate y'all for watching. Catch y'all next time.